Thank you very much, Justices Vivian, Alina, and Adrian, for your very generous descriptions of this fellowship. Chief Justice Godwin, I often find closing remarks easier to write than opening remarks. Because with opening remarks, I haven't met the court yet. And so it's hard for me to find a message for them. But with closing remarks, I would have spent some time with them. I would have listened to them and figured a theme that would be the basis of my closing remarks. But I must say that tonight I struggle. I really struggle because there is nothing I want to say that the 2025 Judicial Fellowship Program Court does not already embody. Is it courage? They have plenty of it. They're brilliant, they're rich in integrity, fairness, hard work, diligence. They have all these qualities in abundance. So I decided that I will share with our almost 50 guests what I've learned from our judicial fellows in the past 2 weeks. We were in Washington last week, and on the second day of the program, I was walking to the hotel from the Chamber of Commerce Foundation when I saw Justice Vivian, and she said to me, "Toyosi, how are you finding your job? What challenges are you facing? What can I do to help you? What support do you need? I'm happy to write a letter or do a video to describe how amazing this program is. Just tell me what you need." I nodded in appreciation, but didn't say much because I wasn't expecting her to ask me how she would support our work on the second day of the program. Every year, the Presidential Precinct hosts an average of 250 international leaders across several programs, and each court is different and unique. I must say that I have not met a court like the 2025 Judicial Fellowship Program before. I have not encountered a court of international leaders who within 24 hours of arriving in the United States begin to look for a way to give back to the Presidential Precinct and our partner, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation. So same day that Justice had asked me the question, Justice Hardness had asked me the question about how she could support me, Justice Vivian rather, I was going for dinner and I ran into Justice Agnes, Justice Veronique, Justice Simon, and Justice Aisha. And they said to me, "Toyosi, come. This is such an amazing program. What can we do for the Presidential Precinct? We can write to our Chief Justice to let them know how amazing this program is. Just tell us what to do." Justice Sewa, Justice Juvenal, Justice Kola, Justice Maria, Justice Adrian, Justice Shona, Justice Marianne, Justice Natalia, Justice Hamin, Justice Yeager, Justice Ignatius, Justice Jamila, Justice Nduka, Justice Carlos, Justice Agnes, Justice Enger, Justice Victor, Justice Elena, Justice Demini, Justice Janina, and Justice Renee have asked me the same question. And I've been overwhelmed by your ideas on how to support our work. Your concerns have been, what can we do for you? Who would you like us to speak to? How do you get funded? Do you want us to write to all the people who give you money about how this program is changing our lives? We'll do all the videos you want. Just tell us what to do, because we want you to continue this program. Now, ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests tonight, please bear in mind that this outpour of selfless support was coming from judges facing wars, judges facing internal conflict, harassment, persecution, and economic depression in their countries. And yet, with the immense pressure on their shoulders, all they have been preoccupied with is, how do we pay this forward? To give you an example of how difficult things are in some countries represented in this room, Justice Yeager this morning at the Miller Center said, "We don't have water or electricity in Kyiv, but our courts are still running." That's just one example of the difficulties our fellows are facing. Then just last week, Justice Nimini from Sri Lanka walked up to me with so much excitement and a proposal on how to move this fellowship forward. She said, and I quote, "Toyosi, we can't just leave this program without doing something. We've been talking a lot about the well-being of judges, And this is the biggest concern of our court, and we need to do something about it. My proposal is that we, the 2025 GFP class, we should launch a global advisory that looks after the well-being of judges worldwide. The Precinct and the Chamber can help us platform this idea, but we must develop this idea before we leave America. So she named it the Global Observatory for Judicial Independence and Well-being, GOJI. This advocacy initiative has 4 main aims: to monitor threats that undermine judicial independence, to provide solidarity and give support to judges facing undue pressure, to advocate for judicial accountability, and to develop principles that recognize and uphold judicial well-being. Within hours of Justice Nimlin sharing our proposal, the court went into many meetings, and they now have a committee to develop the framework for this judicial advisory. While it's still early days, and there's so much work and thought to be applied to this idea, the Presidential Precinct and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation will support the actualization of this advisory. We will support your ambition and passion to advocate for judges worldwide, and your quest to make your countries more just for your citizens. Whichever shape this advisory takes, we will support your quest to protect global rule of law by building a watchdog that protects judges and the integrity of the judiciary. Because this is what the Presidential Precinct is about. We're a leadership incubator. We find leaders addressing the most pressing challenges in their countries. We bring them together, we give them the human resources and the academic resources, and we create a conducive environment where they can challenge one another, validate one another, and birth new ideas. One question on my mind all the time is if the Presidential Precinct is consistently achieving its purpose. And after spending 2 weeks with this stellar, brilliant class, my answer is yes. But we want to do more. Together with the Chamber, our goal is to double this program in 2026 by having 2 cohorts of 25 justices each year. Next year, I mean. Many of you have met my team, Karen, Grace, Luke, Andrew, Claire, and Laura, and you know that we really, really care about what we do. And our 25 judges have given us more reason to continue our work, especially in this climate of dwindling government support. So I want to thank my team and the Precinct Board for the steadfast support. It's also been an absolute pleasure to deepen our collaboration with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Pamela, Charlie, and the Chamber's President, Mike Carney. So if I'm asked to describe the 2025 GFP cohort in 3 words, I would say brilliant, generous, and proactive. And I had one more, fun, very fun. This morning, while doing an interview, again I heard Justice Nimni say something. She said, "Justice is not what we do alone, justice is what we do together." I hope that you feel that we did justice to the Judicial Fellowship Program and that your time in the United States of America was worth it. As I said on the first day, we are committed to your well-being, growth, and supporting you as you spread your hands of justice to everyone. As you go back home, I wish you well, and to say that we will continue to support your aspirations and that you have friends here when times are sad, dreary, and lonely. We remain your friends in justice now and always. Thank you and good evening.